Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I again have the pleasure of speaking with Ryan Dickerson. He is an 8-figure Amazon seller. He has designed and launched over 100 different products on Amazon. And in today's video, we're going to be talking all about IP and specifically what you as a new seller need to be thinking about when you're going to launch your first product and intellectual property. So Ryan, could you just give us a little bit of maybe an overview for specifically a new seller, what they need to be thinking about when it comes to IP and launching new products?
Right. So first off, I'm not a lawyer, but I have a little bit of experience. I've filed some patents. I've been granted a patent. I've filed internationally. I've been involved in litigation, coming my way and going out. So I have a little bit of knowledge, and I'm just going to try to interpret it for you guys in this video. But what I'm giving you is not legal advice, right? First off, for a new seller, I would say don't infringe anybody's patent, right? And you have several types of patents. You have a utility patent, you have a design patent, and you have your trademark. Trademark's your business name, logo. Design, never copy anybody's instructions or use their photos. Even if they haven't copyrighted that, it can still come back to bite you. So you always want to be using your own original artwork. Then you have utility patents. And that's a very expensive patent to get, and that can really hurt you if you were ever to infringe somebody's patent. So my advice is, do a little research. If your product is similar to somebody else's, check their packaging and check their website. If it's patent pending, they need to say it on the box or on the website. And if it's patented, it should have the patent number listed somewhere on the product, or at least directing you to where you can find the patent number.
Can you take us a little bit through how someone would, research a patent? Is that something that you recommend for every product, that you're thinking about launching? Or
yeah, so we certainly do. We've gotten to the point now where we do a IP screening for each product before we launch it to see whether we can file a patent or whether anybody else has a patent on the product. If it's similar to somebody else's product, the first thing I do is I'm going to buy their product and I'm going to check it to see if I can find anywhere written on there patent pending or a patent number. That's the simplest, easy way to do it. If the patent number is on there, then you can go to the US government tests website where they have all the information about patents and trademarks, and type it in and the patent will come up, or Google patents, and that would be where I'd begin my search.
So if patent pending or we're seeing a patent number on the box, would you recommend that a new seller just completely avoid those types of products, or how does someone kind of go down that road?
If it has a patent number on it, I would go and see what the patent is, because just because it says it's patented, you don't know what they're actually patenting. It could be like a method for using the product. It could be something on the product that you're completely avoiding. Patent pending is a different story because it's not filed yet, so a lot of times it's not even published. So that means it's a very new product. And then you might want to get your lawyer's advice about this.
Okay, and I guess for a new seller, would you recommend that if they did see, a sign that seemed like there was something patented there, that they do hire a lawyer, or should they just start in a different product category?
Yeah.
Because I would imagine that could be expensive for them, and going down that road of doing patent searches and trying to avoid a patent potentially might be just too much work.
You do not want to get involved in patent litigation. It's unbelievably expensive. Okay. It can come back to bite you years down the road. US patent law is extremely strong. So avoid infringing anybody's patents any way you can. So I know that when we're talking about new sellers, you have limited resources, right? So you really don't have a lot of cash to be spending on lawyers. Lawyers just take a lot, and you're not really getting anything from it. You know, you're not getting inventory, you're not launching your business. So I worry sometimes it's a fine line. If you can search the patent, check it out, and it's just not anything like what you have, and you feel comfortable that you're not copying somebody else, that you're not infringing any of their claims and their patent, then you're good. But after having been through several some litigation for patents, I screen them now because it's not cool to get stuck with that kind of thing.
So does every physical product have a patent, or has it gone through some sort of a patent stage? Hasn't been patented in the past and it's now expired?
Yeah.
You know, how can you...
So that's why I say...
What's kind of the mindset there?
They have to have the patent number on the product if it's patented.
Okay.
Or it has to say patent pending if the patent hasn't been approved by the patent office yet. So if it doesn't have anything on the packaging anywhere, if they're not saying that they have any patents, then you're probably clear, or you should be. And if they come back to you, they can't claim any damages because it has to say patent pending or the patent number on there in order for them to get damages. But if their lawyer's contacting you, there's nothing you can do. You're still going to have to hire your own lawyer to go back to them. Yeah, that's kind of my...
do you mind talking a little bit about the litigation that you've experienced?
Yeah.
I mean,
so in the beginning, I read like patent it yourself. I've been to the patent office, patent libraries are in all the big cities, and I had somebody there teach me how to search the patents. And there was this kind of rule of thumb everybody was talking about. You only have to change it 10% and you're okay. That's not the case. If you're infringing somebody's claim, any claim in that patent, when you look at it, it'll have a picture, it'll have multiple numbers. If you're infringing any one of those claims, then they have grounds to come after you. So you really need to avoid that. You need to search, like you need to make sure you're checking that product to see if they're mentioning anything about IP and making sure it's clear. And the other thing is, if they have instructions or photographs, you have to do your own original stuff. Do not copy somebody's original artwork. That they don't even have to trademark it. They can still shut you down, and Amazon doesn't want to hear it. If somebody sends an IP claim to Amazon, they're just going to stop selling your product and let you sort it out. You'll just get a letter that says, we've received an IP claim, please let us know when it's resolved. So you can have your inventory in the warehouse and you can't sell it, even if it's nothing, really. Amazon's not going to spend any time helping you on this.
After you've gone through a litigation, what kind of has been your product development process from that point forward? Do you continue to sell that product? Have you had to pay royalties in the past? Like,
yeah, it depends on who owns the IP and what they're going to want. It's different in all different industries. So they're going to start somewhere, you're going to start somewhere, and you have to find a common ground. But my advice is don't get involved. You don't want to be involved in any kind of IP dispute. You want to avoid that at all costs, which is why I say research the product, see if they're claiming any IP, find out what the IP is. When you're a new seller, you don't have a lot of money to spend on this, so you got to kind of do it yourself. Now I use my patent attorney to do the screenings on the patents. And one concept that's always stuck with me that I read early on is a patent, the way to think of it is an offensive weapon. The person filing that is going to use it to stop you from being their competition. And the way they do it is by spending money. They pay the lawyer to go after you, to litigate you. And it's going to slow down the smaller guys. If you're Google, it's not. They're going to litigate it. They have a full team of lawyers to do it. So my advice to a new seller would be don't research, make sure you don't have a patent, but that you're not going up against somebody else's patent. But then don't file patents yourself. Unless you've invented sliced bread, you're always going to be having new ideas. You don't want to be spending a lot of money on lawyers. You're going to have plenty more ideas, plenty more products. So your main concern is to avoid infringing other people. And then later on, when you have money to use a patent as a weapon and your company is getting bigger, then you start filing the patents, and then you'll start using them against your competition. Smaller sellers. Exactly.
So let's say that someone does have a great idea, they're interested in patenting it. You know, what advice do you have to them? Kind of what are the steps that they can take to cheaply go about getting a patent?
Yeah, so there's something called a provisional patent. So what that means is it grants you the right, it's a placeholder, where you can say you file your provisional patent, the patent office isn't even going to look at it. And that means that in 1 year, you can file a utility patent or a design patent. You want to do this for utility, backdated to when you filed the utility patent. So if you really feel like you've got a really novel idea and you really want to protect it, and you want to spend money on making sure that other people can't sell that product, but you don't have the resources to really file a full utility patent right away, what you do is you file a provisional patent. It's much cheaper. You can do it through a lawyer for around $1,000. You file a provisional patent on that product, and then in 1 year, you can file the utility patent. So what you can do is develop the product. When you're about to launch it, file your utility or your provisional patent, and then see how it sells. And if it's a runaway success, or you're really making money and it's a good product, in 1 year you can actually file the utility patent. So that way you know for sure if it's a viable idea and it's making money and worth patenting. So that's a pretty cool tool and a cheaper way to do your patent work.
All right, well, thanks again, Ryan, here for sharing your experiences with IP. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Hopefully we can get you back on a couple more videos in the future and further explain your experience.
I really appreciate you having me, and it's exciting to be able to talk about these things and help others get through it. I wish there had been something like this 5 years ago.
Cool. All right, well, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next video.